Fyter Fest results. Before we get there, Tania Brooks has been hired. Chris Statler has been loaned to Evolve. Wow. Okay. Fyter Fest viewing figures. We got 239,000 viewers. I would assume that's on BR Live. And then we got 239,000 buys, which not quite realistic. That would be way more than they would realistically get. They're probably looking at more 100,000. But nonetheless, that's good for us in the TEW land, because that means, well, it still doesn't mean we're in the green. We're still in the red. So we only gained $287,000 dollars off the actual buy rate. So we are still probably going to be heavily in the red this month. It's really because we're not having any crowds. And until we have crowds, we're going to lose money. Because if we started having crowds, I'm pretty confident we'd be making money comfortably. Alright, let's have a look if we had any popularity swings. Surely, right? Adam Page, 58. I still think that's where he was at before. No, he went up 3. Wow, 55 to 58. And he didn't have to beat anyone to do it. Wow. Allie's at 24. So she went down. Okay, that's going well. B. Priestley, 18. So she started at 15. So that's something. But the crowd still don't want to see her at all. I wonder how we can get her back in the good graces. I don't exactly know. Brian Cage, 48. So he's still where he was. Started at 48, now back at 48, so not great. Cash Wheeler's got 51, and he had 51, so no progression for FTR. Jericho's still at 81, where he was. Daniels at 47. I feel like he went up. He did. Daniels went from 45 to 47. That's great news. Cody at 65, I think he stayed the same. Yep, that's okay. Colt Cabana, 38 to 40. So he went up a couple of points as well. So this has been a pretty successful show so far. 67 now for Omega. He's nearly at the 70s, which would be, with his ability in the ring, would be unbelievably good if we could get him there. Lance has got 46 pop. I feel like that's a boost. No, he's going down. So he's having all these squash matches that aren't getting great ratings, and he's going down in pop. So that's a concern. We might have to give him some better opponents. MJF, 56. He had a good match, and he's gone up from 54. So +2 for MJF, which is awesome, considering we've got big plans for MJF. The more pop he gets, the better. Orange Cassidy went to 44 pop. So he had 42. So after a great match with Jericho, he goes up by 2. In the Southeast, he went up to 47. So technically for the next couple of months until we change locations, he's at 47 pop for us, which somehow he actually had a really good match in the ring. So it's quite possible Orange Cassidy could be one of our best guys on the roster, which is scary to say, but it's true. So great news for us. Really good news. That's solid stuff. So coming out of Fyter Fest, we're doing pretty well. Things are going pretty well for us. So now we just have to make sure we can maintain their popularity and continue a bit of a hot streak. Now we also have to decide what we're going to do. You know, we've had Jericho beat Cassidy. Do we go in a different direction? Probably. Cody needs a new opponent. Colt Cabana lost to Brody Lee, so I could probably move in a different direction there. We might shift it to FTR versus the Young Bucks rather than the Butcher and Blade. Get another team in there. MJF and Christopher Daniels still has a lot more they could do. Obviously, MJF could work with Scorpio. They could do a tag match there. So there's more there with that feud. Moxley and Cage, we didn't even get the chance to do it. So obviously we can do that again. And now we're going to shift to obviously Sheeta versus Ali. So we've got that there. So we'll end that one. So after 1 month of the mod, we can determine who's the wrestler of the year. And so far, it's Okada, who's got 60 pop in the US, 84 in Japan. Nice. So he's had, yeah, that's fair enough. He's had a 90 rated match, a 99 Okada and Tanahashi. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. So yeah, well deserved rest of the year so far. New Japan's the company of the year so far. Well, they've had a lot of shows, haven't they? Yeah, they've had a lot of good matches, so including Chris Jericho. There you go. Team of the year is AJ Styles and Bray Wyatt. Oh, God. Match of the year is Okada and Tanahashi. Show of the year is New Japan Best Super Juniors. Young Wrestler of the year is this dude, Hamburgers or something. Fair enough. 50 odd pop in his area. He's having some decent matches. Even Kenny Omega had a match with him, so he teamed up with Kenny Omega. So he's 24. Not bad. His stats, though, are not great, but I guess he's just being carried by others. I don't know. Veteran of the year is Tanahashi. He's veteran now? He's 43, really? Okay. He's a lot of good stats. Still. Female of the year is Sasha Banks. And how's she traveling? Yeah, not too bad. Better than our women, that's for sure. WWE Stomping Grounds. So let's have a look at their last pay-per-view. Stomping Grounds was a 79 rated show. Drew McIntyre beat Bray Wyatt in the main event. Braun Strowman beat Dolph Ziggler, Otis, and Kevin Owens to keep the Universal title. Seth Rollins beat Daniel Bryan. Styles and Reigns teamed up to take on Jeff Hardy and Aleister Black. King Corbin beat Elias in a ladder match. Alright. That's a lot of pre-show matches too. Oh my god. Alright. Fair enough. Fight for the Fallen's our next show. So at the moment, we're going to do Moxley Cage. That will finally happen. Jericho and Guevara versus Page and Omega. That should probably be the match of the show easily. That could be 80 plus. We do need to find another opponent for FTR and the Young Bucks. I think what I might do is I might do a thing where FTR picks the Young Bucks opponent and the Young Bucks pick FTR's opponent. So, in saying that, who should that be? I think Santana and Ortiz would be good to put in the mix there. And maybe even the Jurassic Express would be good to get them a spotlight. Private Party. You know, what would be good if you wanted to circle it all back together is you had FTR pick Private Party for the Young Bucks, considering that Private Party beat the Young Bucks last year. So that would be a nice little nod to that. So that would be cool, I think. So I might do that. So that's cool. So we'll have FTR pick the Young Bucks opponent, the Young Bucks pick FTR's opponent, and then after that, both FTR and Young Bucks will obviously win, and then FTR versus the Young Bucks at All Out. That's the match we're waiting for. Ideally, we can get FTR closer to 55 popularity by All Out, and maybe the Young Bucks into the 60s to try and get the most we can out of that match. Alright, AEW Dark, let's take a look at the results. On the pre-show, Brandon Tate took on Joey Janela. Another local guy, Brandon Tate. Just going to bring him in for another opportunity for him. Joey Janela had a 47, Tate 33 for a 33 rated match. Just wanted to get Janela a win and to see where he's kind of at. Open up the show with Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt. They got into a bit of exchange with the Dark Order. So we're kind of kicking off the Dark Order and Lucha Express feud. So basically, the Dark Order, they need someone to kind of work with, and I feel like them working with multiple names is probably the way to go. So more opportunities for them to work with individuals as well as different combinations of teams. So that's kind of where we're there. So 47 for that segment. Jungle Boy took on Preston for 48 as well, which is pretty good. Jungle Boy 57, Preston 25. Jungle Boy with a 57 is very impressive, actually. very, very promising. So that's good. Very good. Bea Priestley cut a promo on Chris Statlander ahead of their rematch tonight. So we're going to see those two fight each other again for 31, that segment. Instead, it didn't actually happen though, because Bea Priestley and Priscilla Kelly jumped Chris Statlander for a 29 rated segment. So Priscilla Kelly made her debut. She's now aligned herself with Bea, and her gimmick got a rating of adequate, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. But they lacked a bit of star power to really make this segment great. I didn't think I had them fighting for that long. Maybe a couple of minutes too long, but okay. So she's extremely marketable, which will sell more merchandise than usual. Gives a large boost to star quality during matches and angles, but can be penalized for being used in lengthy angles. So if she's out there for too long, it's probably not for the best. 29 for this segment. Pineapple Pete got a surprise win over the Blade. Figured, let's give Pineapple Pete a chance. 36 actually from Pineapple Pete, which is pretty good. The Blade 37. Butch and Blade haven't been that great. So we figured, let's try something different. But we did keep the Blade strong, so he shouldn't lose any pop. Jimmy Havoc, Kip Sabian got into a bit of a scuffle backstage with the Best Friends for 39. Not too bad. So Trent, Chuck Taylor, and Orange Cassidy fighting Superbad Death Squad as we kind of start that off there. So that's going to be a new storyline for us going forward. And our main event, we just wanted to have a solid main event match. Matt Hardy, we wanted to get him a win. So 53 rated, Matt Hardy 57. So Matt's just kind of performing at what his popularity is, which is okay, but not amazing. Jack Evans 44. So Matt Hardy getting a little bit too old. 39 rated overall. We used Preston a little bit too much because we had him in 2 segments. Okay, fair enough. Well, let's have a look at this week's edition of AEW Dynamite. We open up the show with Brian Cage and Taz, as Taz gives a bit of a shoot promo on Moxley for running away to Japan and avoiding Brian Cage instead of facing him at Fyter Fest. So a 54 rated segment there. I mean, Taz's promos haven't been good enough, I suppose, to really get us a big rating yet, which is a little bit disappointing, but we'll see. Hopefully he improves. Sure we want to continue? No, I do want to do the turn. So Taz turning heel will hopefully fix that odd couple issue that they've had. Opening match was Ricky Starks versus Cody for the TNT Championship. Cody successfully picked up the win in a 72 rated match. Cody made Ricky Starks look particularly strong, so Cody made him look good. Ricky Starks 32, so the crowd still don't want to see Ricky Starks just yet. Hopefully that improves, but Cody looked fantastic and carried the match big time, so that's great to see Cody doing really well. So we did this match because we wanted Ricky Starks to have a good showing, similar to what they did on the Real Life Dynamite, but we do have an extra purpose for it as well. Yeah, so Cody certainly helped out Ricky Starks. Post-match though, Cody was beaten down by Rey Fenix, as Rey Fenix basically said to everyone, hey, I want that championship. So Rey Fenix did take on Ricky Starks at the pay-per-view, so there's a bit of a link there as well. Then we had Britt Baker kind of giving Nyla a bit of coaching, a bit of a guide in her life, As she said to Nyla, you should follow my pillars to success. Nyla Rose not really having too much of it. She didn't really care for it. 38, because Nyla Rose coming off a few losses. Anna Jay took on Big Swole for 21. Quick little match there. Big Swole picked up the win. Anna Jay 21, Big Swole 28. We wanted to give Big Swole a win, and Anna Jay, she's still on a losing run as we kind of set her up to join the Dark Order. And we're probably ready to do that next week, I'd say. And this is the reason for the Ricky Starks-Cody match, is we wanted to have Ricky Starks look good, and Tully Blanchard and Sean Spears were pretty impressed, and they've offered to have their services for Ricky Starks. So they want Ricky Starks to join up with them and kind of be a bit of a group there, which basically Ricky Starks agreed to. So we're going to have Shawn Spears, Ricky Starks team up, Starks and Spears as a team, and Tully Blanchard managing them. Because obviously Ricky Starks at the moment has got the issue of the crowd not really being invested, or they don't really want to see him. So hopefully we pair him with Shawn Spears. It helps Spears get a bit of something to do, and hopefully Starks, can get over that hump that he's got there. 34 for that segment. Jake Hager with a quick win over Brandon Tate for 44. Hager 60, Tate 26. We did a little video package showing Darby Allin and his injury progress, how long it's going to be until he comes back. That segment was 39 rated. Ali took on Shanna for 16. Oof. Ali 34, Shanna 35. So nothing wrong with the match, just the crowd didn't give a shit. Yikes. The women are just struggling so much. Oh, man. We had FTR cut a promo on the Young Bucks saying that anything that they can do, we can do better. And, well, let's hope they can beat Janela and Kiss, because the Young Bucks, they did it. 83 for Nick, 84 for Matt, Sonny Kiss 39, Joey Janela 49. And a nice little win there for the Young Bucks. So, I suppose next week we'll do FTR versus Janela and Kiss to show that they can do it. And they might even do it a little bit quicker than the 15 minutes the Young Bucks took. So 66 for that segment. For that match, I should say. Oh yeah, we're not going to turn them heel just yet. Jake Roberts promoted Lance Archer once again, hyped up how great Lance Archer is for 59 rated. Mr. Brody Lee took on Isaiah Cassidy, and that was a 59 rated match. Brody Lee 66, that's much better from Brody Lee. Thank God, okay. Last time he performed high 50s, this time 66. That I can work with. That I am impressed with. Thank you very much. Isaiah Cassidy 43, 59 rated. Christopher Daniels and Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian, SCU, called out MJF and Wardlow for cheating at Fyter Fest and challenged them to a match. So we might see the tag match of SCU versus Wardlow and MJF very soon. And then we had Jon Moxley come to the ring and said he's not hiding anywhere. He's ready to fight Cage right now. Brian Cage was going to do it, but Taz kind of talked him out of it and decided he'll wait until Fight for the Fallen now. 68 rated segment, so that's much better between this combination. So far, we've struggled a little bit to get the storyline heat really rolling for Moxley and Cage, but it's very good that we're able to do it here and get that storyline heat moving up. So Moxley was probably the carrier of that segment. And our main event was Les Sex Gods versus Best Friends for a 69 rated match. You know what? I think that was a little lower than I was expecting. Guevara 62, Jericho 75, Chuck Taylor 55, Trent 56, and we had Omega and Page watching on ringside as they probably come to realize that Les Sex Gods are probably the next team to challenge for their championships. And we had overall a 62 rated show. A little lower than I was hoping. Ricky Starks used too much. Well, our opening match was good. It was the best one on the show. The main event was pretty decent, so I was a little disappointed to get such a low result. I mean, we had a stinker of a match with Ali and Shanna. A couple lower matches in between. Big Swole and Jay sucked too. So, yeah, we got to cut out the crap in the middle if we want to have a great overall show. Let's take a look at NXT's results. So they had 2,500 fans show up for them. 67 rated, so not too far away from what we're doing. Io Shirai versus Mia Yim was the best on the card. Io Shirai 76 performance. Quite impressive. 1.48 million viewers tuned in, which I say is a lot more than what we got. How do we go? 838,000. Yeah. See, look, the back end of our show, the second half of the show was pretty solid. The start was okay, then it kind of fell away in the middle. That first hour fell away. Big Swallow's charismatic. The kid is a future star, says Kenny Omega. Well, I'm not seeing it yet. She's struggling at the moment. Rebel needs to learn how to sell. She's not worth pushing until that's addressed. Well, she hasn't had a match yet, Cody. Relax. And yeah, the 1.1 TV rating we got for Dynamite. Let's have a look if we had any improvements. Cody, what about Ricky Stark? Surely he went up. 22, 24. Awesome. Very good. Sean Spears, 37. I think he's going down. Brian Cage, 48. Still staying where he's at. Yeah, it does not look to be any real changes in popularity this week. Well, I think that will do it for today's stream, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of work to do. Fight for the Fallen coming up next. Looking forward to it. But before we get there, we definitely need to hopefully get some of that popularity up and get our storylines moving along. If you are watching on the YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do leave a like and subscribe to see more episodes coming up in the near future.